don't know about you guys, but I'm using some of this extra time we have during our distance learning to exercise a little bit and to make sure that I'm in some good health. I've been eating some carrots, some healthy food. So good. And I've been drinking lots of water. I have a little hydro flask I drink from, but water tastes the same no matter what you get out of, no matter what kind of bottle you get out of it. I love it. I'm feeling healthier, a little more energy, and I hope that when we're all back in school and doing these things, I'll keep up these activities to keep me in good health. And you're probably wondering why I'm even telling you about this. That's because we're in a new month, so we have a whole new topic for the whole month. And this whole topic is about our bodies and living things and what they're made up of. And what our body is made up of and how we treat it affects our health. And so we're going to start a whole unit on DNA, our body, life in general, and how we and why we are what we are. It's super exciting to learn about. I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited to use this extra time I have to get a little more exercise and more energy. So what we're going to do today, I mentioned last week that we're going to have a spelling test this week. I'm going to go reintroduce those spelling words, but I'm also going to tell you the vocabulary for the spelling words, because the vocabulary, I can probably bring this up a little bit. The vocabulary is, the spelling words are our vocabulary words. And these are words we should know as we kind of delve into our introductory story about what our body is made of, and it is titled, What is DNA? So, I'm going to start, first of all, by just introducing the vocabulary words, which are also your spelling words. And so we'll just go ahead and do that. First, we're going to talk about, first thing I guess we'll talk about, the first word is body. Woo! Body is spelled B-O-D-Y. And this is our body. The whole of our person is our body. And body means the whole physical part of a person. So the whole physical part of a person. So all the physical parts of you are part of your body. And what I encourage you to do is to pause it right here and write the word body if you have it. And then pause it right here and write the definition of the word body in your journals. All right? And I'm going to take this word, body, I'm going to put it on our board so you can look back on it. It's kind of further, but kind of maybe helps remind you of what we're studying today. The next one we have is kind of like why I was lifting this heavy can, is health. Health. Health is spelled H-E-A-L-T-H. And we can either be in good health, woohoo, or we can be in poor health, all right? And we'll talk about the difference of that. Because the word health, you might want to pause it right here and write it down, means, and then you can pause it right here, the condition of your body. Well, that's an interesting phrase, the condition of your body. But it doesn't quite make perfect sense. So I'm going to try to break down what that means for you. Most people are either in good health or poor health. And there's lots of reasons why. Some people do things that are not good for their body. They eat stuff and drink stuff that hurts their body, and they're in poor health. Sometimes people just get sick, and that's one reason we're in shelter in place, because there's a nasty virus going around called COVID-19 or coronavirus, and if you get it, it hurts your breathing. And if you're not breathing well, you get very, very sick. And if you had that virus, you'd be in poor health. Sometimes, like one thing I have done is I haven't exercised very much recently because I've been like really busy and everything, and I just decided it wasn't important, but I was wrong. It was important, and that's kind of made my body tired, and that's why I'm trying to use this extra time I have right now to make it better, to get in better health. Because right now, I would say I'm not in the best of health. I would say I'm poor health. I mean, I'm healthy. I don't have any viruses or anything, but I really need to lose a few pounds. So I would say not in the best of health. This guy's in poor health. He's not in good health, but it looks like because he's not like really taking care of himself. He's got a thermometer in his mouth, so maybe he's sick with a virus. He looks really tired. Oh, sleep. Sleep is very important. Get your sleep. Sleep will help your body heal. It'll help you use your calories better. Everything is really important to get good sleep. It's important to eat good food, fruits, vegetables. Not so much sugar. The candy is not very good, okay, for you. But soda. Oh, drink tons of water. Okay. We don't want to be in poor health. We want to be in good health. Now, see this girl, she's able to run. She's laughing. You don't have to be able to run to be in good health. Some people can't run. They're still in good health. You just need to be taking care of yourself. If you can, take vitamins. Do what you can. Stretch what you can. Make an effort to go a little bit further every single day, and you'll improve your health. All right. Sometimes we're in great health. Sometimes we're not. Well, it just depends on every person. But this story, what is DNA, is really about what makes our body look the way it looks. Why do I have blue eyes? Why do I actually have brown hair, even though I dye it blonde? Why do I have brown hair? Why is my skin light? Why are, I can curl my tongue. Some people can't do that. That's a trait in your body. And traits are held inside your DNA, all right? DNA is the set of directions in each cell that tells how the living thing will look and act. What? That's a big one. I think this might take a little while to fully understand. In fact, I know that there are scientists that are studying this, and they don't know everything about DNA. So if this is really difficult for you to understand, it's okay. We're going to be talking about this all month, or at least through this lesson in this week, and you'll get it. You'll get parts of it. And if you don't understand all of it, that's fine, because we're not going to understand all of it. All right, so this phrase, this is DNA. And DNA isn't actually a word. It's, I'm going to say it wrong, but it's about nucleic acids, deoxynucleic acid, and I should be better prepared. But anyways, we DNA for short. And so you want to pause it and write DNA. And then I'm going to flip it and you'll pause it again and write down the definition, which is a set of directions in each cell that tells how a living thing will look and act. Okay. It has this picture right here. And this is kind of what DNA actually looks like. And I want you to remember that you see these little links. These links are called genes, and we'll talk about that. So there are a couple words in here that are also part of our vocabulary, and we'll go over them next. We have cell, the word cell. And I did mention the word gene, and that is another one of our spelling words and vocabulary words. So this is DNA. This is the definition, a set of directions in each cell that tells how a living thing will look or act. All right. Put that up there. DNA. All right. So I mentioned genes. Genes are part of DNA. Now, you hear the word genes, right? It's spelled G-E-N-E-S. Genes. I know you've heard this word before. It's when we're talking about this. This and this are not the same thing. Does not mean genes. Nope, nope, nope. Whoop. It's gone. Okay. That is not what this means. This is a word that sounds the same, but has a different meaning. The meaning of the word genes, if you want to pause it here, write the word genes. You can unpause it and then write the definition, is a part of DNA that tells what features a person will get from their parents. Now, there's a lot to talk about. We have tons and tons and tons of genes in our DNA. All right. There's a lot to know about genes. There's a lot that people don't know about genes. So if you don't fully get this, that's fine. We're going to be talking about this. We're going to be trying to work it out together, all right? I promise you, you will get part of this by the time we're done. But just trust me and hang in there with me because we are going to move on to the last thing we're going to talk about. And the last thing we're going to talk about is, the last vocab word we're going to have is cell. Okay, every living thing has a cell, all right? And a cell is a small part of a living thing. Okay, small. I wonder how small they mean. I mean, is it small like me? Is it small like my kid? I'll answer that question. Oh, first, before I do that, this is the word cell. It's spelled C-E-L-L. Pause it. Write it out. Unpause it. I'm going to flip it over, give you the definition. The definition is, you might want to pause this, a small part of a living thing. All right? You can unpause it, and then I'll tell you about the cell a little bit. All right. Ooh, you can't even see that on the screen. What in the world? What in the world? All right, there we go. Cell. All right. So we said a cell is small. It's a small part of the human being. So if it's a part of a living thing, it's smaller than the body. Okay, smaller than the body. Lots of things are smaller. This is smaller than a body. This is smaller than a body. Okay. Is it smaller than an arm? Yes. It's even smaller than an arm. Is a cell smaller than a hand? Yes. It is smaller than a hand. Is a cell smaller than a finger? Yes. It is smaller than your finger. In fact, a cell is smaller than your fingertip. Okay, or your fingernail. Right? Your cell is smaller than your fingernail. In fact, your cell is smaller than a drop of blood. Inside a drop of blood are tons and tons and tons of cells. In fact, a cell is so small that you have to get a microscope to see it. All right, so that's how small a cell is. You can't really see it very well with your naked eyes. You have to get a microscope to see it. And I'm sure we'll talk more about that later. In fact, we're going to talk about it right now in our book. This is our book. And we're going to talk about different things with DNA. And we are going to talk about like why are your eyes the color that they are? And it's because of DNA. So here's the title. What is DNA? It is by Ali Vance, and it is illustrated by Alex Weishart. Oh, I remember that name. That was from the last story we did. The last story, Alex was illustrated by Alex Weishart as well, and that means Alex Weishart did the pictures for this book, and he did a picture for a back about Jordan's job. All right. So we're gonna look. We're gonna see that our bodies are made up of cells, and that cells have an important job to do. And it's your job today to remember one fact about a cell. So you need to say to yourself, I am going to remember one fact about a cell. Okay. So you kind of look at these pictures. Well, we'll just go ahead and read it. All right. So what is DNA? People, animals, and plants are made up of cells. A cell is very small. We cannot see cells with our eyes. Our bodies have many cells. Okay? So we have more than one cell. We have lots of cells. We have many cells. And all plants, people, and animals have cells. All of our body parts are made up of cells. Our bones are made up of cells. Our eyes are made up of cells. Our hair is made up of cells. So our hair, our eyes, our bones, all of that is made up of cells. The cells in our bodies work to make more cells. Each cell works to make our body look the way it does. Each cell is a worker. Each cell has a special job to do. Okay? How does each cell know what to do? That's a good question. How does your cell know what to do? Who is the boss? Who tells the cell what to do? Well, that is an excellent question. Let's see what they say. DNA is the boss. Oh, DNA, that was a word that we had right here. It's one of our vocab words. DNA is the boss. DNA tells the cell what to do. DNA is inside every cell. It looks like a long ladder. Each rung of the ladder has a special direction. So you see, this is the DNA. And when they say rung, they're talking about these little lines in the DNA. And each of these is kind of like directions that a teacher gives. And it's in there. And the cells read those directions or gets information from those directions. And that tells them what to do. Because different cells have different jobs. Who's the boss? Who tells the cells what to do? DNA is the boss. DNA has directions for each cell. DNA tells the cell what color eyes to make. DNA tells the cell what color hair to make. Oh, it's pretty bossy. Who is the boss? Who tells cells what to do? DNA is the boss. DNA is a good boss. Cells are good workers and listens to the DNA. DNA makes you look like you. The end. Very good, you guys. Listen, thank you for listening to that. So, DNA is the boss of your cells, and DNA tells your cells what to do. So let's look at some facts we learned about the cells. Okay, because that was your job. Your job was to remember at least one fact about the cell. Let's see. We learned that cells are very small. We cannot see cells with our eyes. So we learned that. That's two facts right there. Let's see if we can find something else. If we look in the text, we see that all of our body parts are made of cells. All right, so that's another fact we learned. This book has a lot of facts in it. You just have to read really close and pay attention to figure it out. We learned that the cells work to make more cells. All right. We learned that DNA is the boss of the cell. And that each of these ladders, or these rungs is what they call them, each of the rungs in this DNA has directions on it that tells the cells what to do. We learned that DNA and in the cells tell our bodies what color to make our eyes, what color to make our hair, tells us how tall we will be. We learned that DNA is a good boss and our cells are good workers. That's a lot of facts. I want you to watch this video a few times, and what I want you to do is write down a fact. And when I come and work with you, I want you to share some of those facts we went over together. And I want you to keep up doing good things for good health. I want you to keep eating your fruits and vegetables. I want you to work out, get nice and buff. I want you to drink some water and be healthy, because I really want to see you back when we can get together again, because I miss you guys and I think you're awesome. All right, bye.